You're listening to the Night Demon Network. Go to nightdemon.net/subscriber to unlock more exclusive content.
Hello and welcome to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. I'm your host Nesbit, and we are weeks away from this year's Frost and Fire Festival, Frost and Fireland, June 17th and 18th in Derry, Northern Ireland. This is Frost and Fireland Part 3. So last week we heard about night 1 of the 2-day festival. Today we're going to get into the bands playing night number 2. So you might have seen the lineup on the cool Frost and Fireland poster. It's a cool, solid design. Makes for a great t-shirt. A cool looking skeleton and a cool logo. But it actually incorporates the Derry coat of arms. So there's more to this design than you might think.
Our resident artist, Brian Craybaugh, who many of you will know does much of the Night Demon stuff, did the Frost and Fireland poster. And it's really cool how it incorporates the Derry coat of arms, which is the Derry coat of arms is incredible. And I highly recommend anybody listening to this to just look that up online. And it's basically, there's there's like a castle tower, and then there's a skeleton, which he looks kind of lazy. He's basically sitting down and his elbows on his thigh, and he's got his head propped to the side. He's kind of holding his head. It kind of looks like a bored skeleton, but really what it is, there's an old legend out here about, actually, I don't even know if it's a legend. There's actually some documented truth to this, but it's basically going back 1,000 years of an actual castle that's out here where there was a prisoner who was starved to death, and that's symbolizes that. But of course, we always want to incorporate the local history or the local heritage to the artwork of what we're doing. I mean, that's the way to do it. And I'm super stoked on the way that this came out, and it looks fucking great on a t-shirt.
So yeah, I'll sneak in this plug, t-shirts with the design, and also tickets, single day passes, and full festival passes, available at irongripheavymetal.com. So let's get to the bands. Night number 2, June 18th. So originally opening was Dread Sovereign. However, Dread Sovereign, their lead singer Alan Averill, he's also in the band Primordial. Primordial is actually playing in Hellfest in France the day before this, so they can't make it in time to open the show, but they're still playing, but they're moved to the afterparty. So if you're looking forward to them, you'll actually get a longer set from them, but it'll be at the afterparty. So the afterparty at 720 Bar, it's like just down the street from the Nerve Center, just down the street from the festival. It starts at midnight, so you can still catch Dread Sovereign, and we'll be talking about them a bit more later. But the first band playing on night 2, Wytch Hazel.
Kicking off night 2 on Saturday, June 18th at the Nerve Center, we have none other than Wytch Hazel coming from Manchester, England. These guys are fucking incredible. They just put out their 3rd record. We had them on Frost and Fire London before. The guys are really cool dudes. We're good buds with these guys. And their last record has just totally taken off. It sounds amazing. And the songs are great. And people are really digging this band right now. So it's, you know, they've been in the trenches for a while. And now they finally had a chance to break out. Since Dread Sovereign can't make their time slot to open the festival, we're going to put them on the after party. So Wytch Hazel is going to play an extended set. They're going to play for at least an hour, hopefully longer. We'll see what happens. But it's going to be awesome with them.
Hey everyone, it's just Colin here from Wytch Hazel. Wytch Hazel is a band we've been going for about 10 years now. We're currently working towards our 4th studio album, which we're very excited about. We've also got some cool gigs coming up this year, including Frost and Fireland. So this is going to be our first show in Ireland, and we're very much looking forward to seeing the other bands on the lineup. And we're just really excited to meet some of our Irish fans, maybe perhaps for the first time. So that's going to be cool. Over and out. See an army of dry bones revive.
So Wytch Hazel playing an extended set, night 2. Next up, a band that listeners of this podcast should be very familiar with, Midnight.
And of course, Midnight, well, spending a lot more time with those guys on this tour. I've gotten a lot closer to them than I was before. I think Midnight and Night Demon, is the perfect combination for a live show. It's crazy that we haven't done this tour before, but so far it's working out great. We're sharing equipment. It's the same kind of setup, 3-piece band. And our styles work together really well, I think. The fans have been just loving the shows every night. And it's fucking awesome having those guys with us on the road and also joining us on Frost and Fireland.
Next up is Midnight. These are, I don't know if Midnight needs much of an introduction, but black rock and roll, black thrash, whatever you want to call it, it's all heavy metal to me. Night Demon will be on the road with Midnight. We're on the road with them right now in Europe as you're hearing this. We are tearing it up. We're doing about 30 gigs across Europe, playing almost every night. Frost and Fireland falls right in the middle of our tour. We have a gig in Manchester the night before. We come in, we rock these 2 shows, and then we're off to Spain. So, needless to say, Midnight is going to be a very well-oiled machine by the time it comes to this fest, and they're going to lay waste to everything.
Hey, this is Athanar from Midnight, Cleveland, Ohio, United States of America. Really looking forward to coming to Ireland for the first time. Great country, home of heroes Thin Lizzy, Rory Gallagher, and Sweet Savage. Here's a song off our new album, Let There Be Witchery. The song is called Frothing Foulness.
Frothing fondness.
Next up for Saturday night in the direct support slot, none other than the new wave of British heavy metal legends, also a band from Newcastle, England, Satan. Satan has come out to play Frost and Fire on the West Coast before. They played Frost and Fire 4, and Satan is one of those bands. These guys have all 5 original members from the key era of the band, 1983's Court in the Act album. They've put out 4 records since reforming about a little over 10 years ago. And these guys are writing songs like it's incredible the craftsmanship and the quality of the music that these guys are putting out at this point. It's just, all transparency, I have been the manager of the band for years, and but there's a reason for that. I mean, of all of the new wave or British heavy metal bands from that era, none of them have the original members, and to be putting out the kind of music that they are that this late in their career is just, it's something unheard of, and this band is a force to be reckoned with. Really, really, really pumped for this.
Well, Satan is another one of those bands that I didn't know much about until Frost and Fire happened. When I was involved, the first time I got involved with Frost and Fire in 2016, I think it was. I don't remember if they played that one or was it 2017, but regardless, getting to know those guys, and getting to know Russ, especially as a guitar player, Russ Tippins, we just really bonded on guitar playing. I love his style. I think he's one of the most creative players that I've ever met or ever seen, let alone been able to kind of actually have a relationship with and talk to and gear out. And also, those guys can drink any fucking band under the table, even at their age. I've seen it go down, and they can still fucking play their asses off, and they're just one of those great fucking bands. So looking forward to seeing those and sharing a few Jägermeisters with them, or maybe they like to mix Fireball and Jägermeister together, which is insane, but it works for them. So that's what it is. Whatever works, however they can do it, it's good. Good times with those guys. Very many good times.
Hi, this is Steve Ramsey from the band Satan. We play a kind of melodic speed metal born during the new wave of British heavy metal. We got back together in 2011 and have just released our 5th album with this lineup, Earth Infernal. We're very much looking forward to our first show in Ireland and are really looking forward to meeting our fans out there. This track is from our new album. It's called Earth We Bequeath, and is like a time capsule message for future generations, an apology for what has happened to the planet on our watch.
headlining at the Nerve Center on Saturday is the mighty Cirith Ungol. So obviously everybody knows that I play in this band too. But, you know, Cirith Ungol is a very legendary band. They're a very mystical band. They're an epic band. And for a band like that to never have played in the magical land of Ireland is just criminal. So again, another reason for doing a Frost and Fire abroad is to bring Cirith Ungol to these places. Cirith Ungol has had many offers in Ireland, but again, much like what happened in England, there was just not enough funds or interest to bring the band out to make it worth it. So what did I have to do? I had to say, hey guys, let me book the show. Let me put on the festival and let's get us out here and let's fucking do this thing. I know a lot of people are ready for this, especially a lot of people in the south of Ireland that are coming up here. It's going to be fucking awesome, and it's going to be a great way to close out the main event.
Hello, this is Robert Garvin, one of the founding members and drummer for Cirith Ungol. The band started around 50 years ago, and after a brief breakup of around 20 years, the band reunited, and ever since then have been playing some exclusive festivals and shows around the world. We put out a full-length album, Forever Black, in 2020, a single Witch's Game, and also an EP in 2021, Half Past Human. This next song is entitled Legions Arise, and it comes from our 2020 album, Forever Black. To me, this song is a continuation of the song Join the Legion, which appeared on our 1991 album, Paradise Lost. It calls for all our followers to join with us together to rise up in the name of true metal.
So closing out night 2, Cirith Ungol. And I mentioned Dread Sovereign earlier. They're now playing the after party with an extended set. I'm going to play a track by them, and then you're going to hear a conversation between lead singer of Dread Sovereign, Alan Averill, and Jarvis Leatherby. But first, from their 2021 album, Alchemical Warfare, this is The Great Beast We Serve.
Long after you pass
Okay, any moment here. Oh, there he is. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah,
What's
pretty
going
good.
on?
Sure my head's not cut off. Oh, just hanging out in Northern Ireland, and you are in the Republic of Ireland, right? In Dublin, in the antechamber, I see.
Yeah, it's I'm in the dungeon.
So we just came here briefly to talk about Frost and Fireland. There's a heavy metal festival happening in Ireland. What the hell? It's crazy, It's pretty cool. It's been a goal of mine for, ever since I've been kind of living here part-time for the last couple of years. And you've actually been up here to Derry. We've hung out and have kind of scoped things out. And, I don't know. What are your general feelings about like true heavy metal being here for this? I mean, I don't know. Is this a good thing? Is it interesting? What does it mean? What does it mean to have it in Ireland, in your mind? Because you're born and bred metal here from day one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see. Like traditionally in the South, at least, I think black and death metal or more extreme stuff was always more popular. Then in the North, they seemed to be a little bit more. You would see, hard rock, glam rock kind of stuff. And there was a moment where never the twain kind of met, where the old underground bands never really played up and down until maybe the 90s that began to change. But there wasn't many traditional heavy metal bands, and there certainly wasn't really a forum for traditional metal like this. I mean, when I think back to the old Day of Darkness festivals, which happened down here, it was, Dismember, Rotting Christ, Entombed or whatever. There was never really much traditional metal. So you're going out on a limb, but it just might, but it just might be the sort of, I don't know, a bit of a kind of like a clarion call to trad metalers to go, you know what, you're going to have to get in your car or in your bus or your van, or you're going to have to get the train to, you're going to have to travel to try and make it happen to support it. Because, even though Ireland is such a small island, I know in Dublin people can get like complacent about like, oh, that gig is all the way down the end of the canal, So you're going to have to move all, kind of how we say, lance that boil of complacency. But I'm pretty sure you can do it. So, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because when you talk about extreme metal, like it's really old now. Like it's like it's been around for decades, literally now, and especially in the '90s when everything changed in music, everything, and you didn't have the internet to be able to congregate in your own subcultures around the world unless you knew the people physically right next to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of weathered the storm, and now it seems like extreme metal is like here to stay, and it's become one of the most popular subgenres of the most popular subgenres of metal. I mean, I guess you could say, you could categorize extreme metal in a lot of different ways. I mean, to me, extreme is more of the lifestyle, which you see now that has changed a lot with a lot of younger extreme metal bands. They have the sound and maybe the look, but they're they're like a lot of silly guys, But I see that a lot, especially a lot of festivals that we play. But going back to the trad metal thing, or rock and roll, I guess you would call it. It's funny putting on an event out here that says Heavy Metal Festival, and there's a band called Satan playing, and Dread Sovereign. It's like immediately the public they go to that extreme mindset, right? And essentially, they think it's like, okay, there's going to be, make sure people are guarding the churches so they're not burned, and essentially what we're talking about here is classic rock. I was trying to explain to some of the council members and government here in the town that, like, look, this band Satan, that they're old enough to be your fathers, So
yeah.
It's not all what it seems to be on the surface, but in a way, I kind of still appreciate that because I got into rock and roll for pure rebellion, and it's still at our age, it still carries a little bit of that with it, and that's exciting to me. although the flip side of it is like I'm kind of waiting for heavy metal to become like the next Frank Sinatra, where it's like, you know, like Elvis has already come, you know, and wiped heavy metal away, right? And like I'm waiting for us to be on like the public you know, channel of television where, you know, all the events are seated and it's like, you know, like it's an infomercial, you know, but it's not quite there. And
not quite.
You know, it's not quite there. It's not quite there. But anyway, yeah, I mean, look, like as you know, like I've been trying to put this on for a long time, and I'm just so happy that it's actually happening. You know, we've been talking about it for a couple of years, and it seems like, you know, all the restrictions here are lifted, which is fucking fantastic. And it's going to be a really easy time, and it's going to be a really fun time. And I do like the fact that, you know, I purposely didn't choose 30 bands. You know, there's 10 bands and they matter, and nobody's playing at the same time. I'm really happy to have, you know, Brian Downey here from Thin Lizzy. You know, his Thin Lizzy band is incredible. The Phil Lynott that he has in the band is really good. And like, I'm looking forward to hearing all those songs and, you know, just everybody from top to bottom. But one thing that I want to mention is, you know, you playing with Dread Sovereign, like what has been your guys' history as far as playing in Ireland?
I think we played 3 times. Once in Limerick at the Siege of Limerick, and I think we played once supporting Solstafir and once with Tribulation. But we never really bothered. I mean, that much. But that's kind of, I suppose, that's a carry on of the hangover from Primordial and stuff. In that, back in the day, I think we did one small tour of 4 days of Ireland back in 2004 or 5. We just never really tried to make that much of a dent in the sort of Irish music scene with Primordial. We just kind of went, you know what, we can't be bothered. We'll just play in Germany, play in Dublin, maybe. We moved. Don't get me wrong, we played in Limerick, Cork, and Galway, but just play once every 3 or 4 years. So the days of bands doing 10-day tours of Ireland are pretty. They belong in the 70s and 80s. But Dread Sovereign, no, never really played that much. I mean, I don't know if there really was that much of a demand for everybody. And then the guitar player lives in Belgium, so the idea of flying over to play in front of 45 people in X town,
I think
seemed a bit.
I think though that since you guys are 3/4 or 2/3 Irish, like.
Oh no, we're all Irish.
Sorry. Well, based in Ireland, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have it as a tour stop, like just moving forward, like just, logistically it's here. If you're going to come here and rehearse anyway, I mean, might as well kick it off at least in Dublin. I mean, I know that Night Demon has plans next year to actually do a full Irish tour like you were talking about, like of Days of Old. And for us, it's fine. Like we actually just want to go to these places and play for whoever's there. And
are you ready? Are you ready, Longford Town?
Well, look it, man. I know something that like I've seen through experience with Frost and Fire. You've come to our auditions in Ventura, and essentially, even though it is Southern California, there's zero metal scene there, and the fact that Cirith Ungol and Night Demon were the only heavy metal bands to ever come out of there. Once we started doing the festival there. And once Night Demon started to tour in smaller markets around the U.S., we would find that the next year the festival will come around, or the next time we would come to that town, there were metal bands to play with. Like it started popping off, and it's kind of my goal here to be doing this thing up in Northern Ireland, where like local people and bands will be coming to this. Guys in punk rock bands that go, well, wait a minute, like. This is actually some good metal, and like this is a good scene, and these are good people, and like these people fucking love this stuff. I'm tired of being spit on by people that come to my gigs and don't really give a fuck, or it's kind of it's interesting how that comes about. So like I fully believe that this would spark at least one band in this area. I really do think that it's going to be like, holy shit, it's like being in a movie. You see these people in this smaller town and you're like, holy fuck, like these people mean it, and they love this stuff. And the music is great. I mean, I really feel like that. The music that we have on this fest it's even though it's kind of, you could all put it in the same scene, every band is so different from one another, and there's a good flavor happening here. And I find myself going to a lot of festivals across Europe, and I find that like some of these festivals that have just the same type of band over and over again, it's good on paper, it's good on a playlist, but in the festival environment, it can get a bit mundane and boring, and it kind of hurts the bands. So yeah. I'm really looking forward to this, in the sense of what we have in the lineup that we have, and pound for pound, I would go see any of these bands headline any night, anywhere. So, sure. You know, but so you guys were originally supposed to open the show on Saturday, but Primordial, your other band, is playing at Hellfest in France the night before, which essentially Hellfest is the biggest festival in the world this year. They're doing it 2 weekends, 2 full weekends, and everybody is playing at this festival. So you guys are actually going to come in, and you won't make it in time for your set. But so what we've done is we've bumped Wytch Hazel up, and they're going to play an extended set, which is going to be amazing.
Oh, great.
And then you guys will be playing the after party at the 7:20, which starts at midnight. And so you guys will be playing an extended set and doing some cool metal covers, maybe have some special guests. It's going to be more of a party environment, and I think it's going to be fucking awesome, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the thing, I mean, you know what Hellfest is like. You're near Nantes or Lyon. No, it's Lyon, isn't it? I don't know. And it's so fucking difficult to get in and out of Hellfest. You can't do it from Paris. You can't drive back and go to Paris and get there in time to fly back in. So it's just, you know, it's a booking from 3 years ago. It's just really difficult. So it makes much more sense for us to do the to do it later on, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy in there though. I just went to the venue today. It's a great little bar. They've got a cool stage, proper sound. Like, it's gonna be fun. Especially, you know, it's gonna be the best part when Cirith Ungol finishes their set and we grab the drum set and run it over to the bar.
Well, as long as you have the midget on my rider, it'll all be okay.
Dwarfs, or sorry, little people. Oh man, wait, cut.
Yeah, no, it's going to be. I think that it's very important for. I mean, there's one thing, you know, in all seriousness, which I've noticed that, because, you know, Primordial just did a tour, and you know, we started to play gigs again, and Dread Sovereign has played a few gigs. Is that and Irish people will know what I'm talking about now? Is the terrible habit of flaking. You flake on things. You kind of you commit to it half-heartedly, and then you go, I don't know, maybe, yeah. Like the success of this festival is going to rely on Irish people to really conquer their habit of flaking. And I think especially for people from down the south who then look at the map and they go, oh, it seems quite a far way away. And then I think you have to really put that in context of how far people from across the world go to heavy metal shows. I mean, look, we've been in South America, we've been in Central America for shows and seen the craziness that people do to get there. I think the Irish people are going to have to kind of go, you know what, we load up the car, we get some people together, we get on the bus, we do a road trip, like a proper heavy metal road trip, and we get up to Derry. And many Irish people, you know yourself, they've never been to Derry.
Yeah,
they've never been in, especially in the south, they've never been in the old city. I mean, it's a great place, and they've never been up there. And I think it's a very good opportunity to for Irish people to take a little kind of staycation of sorts, see a city they haven't seen, see some great bands, but also you know, kind of conquer that post-pandemic blues of it seems like a long way away. I'm going to flake on it, you know, and just go, right, no, we're going to go and we're going to make it happen, you know what I mean?
I agree. And like, for anybody who's never been to a Frost and Fire Festival, like, we already have.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, we've already have a ton of tickets sold from people outside of the country, because they know what to expect when they come to these things. Yeah. And more than anything, it's just a great hang. So like you said, it's a good like weekend staycation, and like that's what it's about. It's not just about being at a concert. It's about the environment and the camaraderie that everybody has. There's tons of things to do here, and everything's really close and walkable, and that's what's cool. But yeah, I mean, and yeah, to your credit, you know, Night Demon played in El Salvador with Ross the Boss and Belfagor, and it was like it was an insane bill. But like, just getting there and all the shit we had to deal with, it's like, for us, it's a little bit different. I guess we see the world in a bit of a different way. But you know, because like driving from Dublin to Derry, it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, as a guy in a touring band, I mean, that's a short day. That's a short day,
Yeah.
But really, it's none of these bands are going anywhere else in Ireland but here. It's an opportunity to be a part of something and to be a part of a scene that is a welcoming scene. There's no judgment in our scene. It doesn't happen like that. Well, I mean, I'm just saying though, the people that come to the festival, I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, look, I met guys in Honduras at a gig who drove from Nicaragua, and they had to go past like gorillas in the mountains. I mean, gorillas, not gorillas.
Yeah, not gorillas. Yeah,
yeah.
Well, maybe that's
they had to drive like 24 fucking hours, and avoid checkpoints to get to the gig, and so going from Dublin to Derry isn't really that big a deal, is it? So
it's not. And you know what's funny is like there's a lot of people from the South that have never come to the North, and like I'll just tell anybody who's even traveling here internationally and that's coming in through Dublin or whatever, it's a soft border.
Give me a list.
It's a soft border. I mean, there's no checkpoints. You're here and then you're there, and it's one of the most beautiful drives that I've ever been on too. It's incredible. And everything on the North Coast is awesome. And there's basically a ruined church or a ruined castle every 50 kilometers or whatever. And it's like the whole thing is a heavy metal photo shoot. The whole island of Ireland is fucking incredible. In my mind, it's a total lost gem of heavy metal scenery and environment. It is absolutely perfect, and that's why I'm trying to do this. Is because it's like if you're not here, you're nowhere. I mean, it's really something that you have to experience. The pictures and the videos are amazing, but it's a different vibe when you actually step on the ground here and take in the air. And it's just going to be an electrically charged weekend. And actually, the very same weekend, you talked about like coming back from the pandemic. It's like, here we are, we're here, we're actually doing this. This very same weekend, the Undertones, which is a legendary punk band that had the hit Teenage Kicks, they're a local band from Derry. They're playing at the Millennium Forum, like 2 blocks away. So like, just, the energy, when you get people together, there's an energy. So the energy within the city walls, the 400-year-old city walls that are still intact with the cannons on them, like, it's going to be a fucking place to be, man. I mean, I'm really, really excited just about that. I'm just happy that I know the happiness that this is going to bring to everybody that's around. And that's, to me, alone, I mean, that's worth it,
Yeah, cannons and geography.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, dude, so cool. I just wanted to have a quick chat about that and kind of let everybody know what's happening. Tickets are available at irongripheavymetal.com. We still do have some left. But we've had a good spike, man. It's good. People are making the commitment to do it. And I can promise you it's going to be different than any other festival that you'll go to this summer. I mean, it's definitely, it's going to be something that you can call your own by being here. And that's really what's important. You're not going to have to worry about being stuck in the middle of a field and finding a place to piss and paying €5 for a bottle of water. It's the ultimate hang for heavy metal. And we just hope to see as many of you there as we can. And that's about it. Check out Dread Sovereign on all the socials there and all the other bands. irongripheavymetal.com. There we go. Alan, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Brother. And we'll see you soon.
All right, brother.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Be good.
All right. See ya.
So that was Jarvis and Alan Averill. Interesting conversation about metal and Ireland. If you like that conversation, you also might want to check out the most recent episode of the Feckin' Metal podcast, where Jarvis had a great chat with host Trainer about all things Frost and Fireland. Highly recommend it. So that's it for the lineup of night 2. And also be sure to check out the after party.
On Saturday night, after Cirith Ungol is done, at midnight, Dread Sovereign will be hitting the stage at the 720. They're going to play a lot of stuff from their new record, some old stuff too, and play a bunch of cool heavy metal covers. They've got some special guests. Hell, I mean, who knows? I may get up there and do something with them. But that's going to be really the closeout of this amazing, amazing Frost and Fireland Festival weekend. And we will see everyone there, right? Seriously, don't miss out. If If you're not here, you're nowhere. This is going to be fucking insane. Thank you.
So Frost and Fireland 2022, June 17th and 18th, Derry, Northern Ireland. Tickets are still available at irongripheavymetal.com. Until next time, this is Nesbitt signing off.
Come on, join the Legion! Yeah, come on, join the Legion! Yeah, come on, join the Legion! Come on, join the Legion! Join us!
Thanks for listening to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. Head over to nightdemon.net, click on the subscriber tab, and sign up to access exclusive weekly bonus content. If you would like to donate to support the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast, you can do so through PayPal at paypal.me/nightdemonmetal. Additionally, if you have not already done so, please subscribe, like, rate, and review the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts.
All hail, Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. This is Dusty Squires chiming in to tell you about my brand new signature sticks from the London Drumstick Company. I've dreamt of having my very own drumsticks ever since I was a wee lad, and LDC made that a possibility for me. Founded in 2016 in London, England, the birthplace of heavy metal, the London Drumstick Company has trailblazed a path through the music industry and taken the drummer world by storm. When I met them for the first time, they knew their product was going to withstand the beatings of a Night Demon show. They took the time to work with me on getting everything just right. The balance and weight of my sticks are the same no matter what, and the durability is bar none the best I've ever had. I know my sticks will last through the set night after night. I'm truly honored to work with a company that caters to their players the way LDC does. Their innovation and attention to detail is what separates them from the rest of the stick makers out there. Their custom stick sleeves are unbelievable and really make the entire presentation complete. Wait until you see the design they came up with for me. It blew my mind and was a surprise to say the least. They have all kinds of amazing swag, including hoodies, t-shirts, drummer shorts, drum keys, stick bags, towels, face masks, practice pads, and much, much more. Even if you're not a drummer, you can be a part of Demon history and order my brand new signature sticks direct from their website. How cool is that? And to top it off, the London Drumstick Company are giving an exclusive offer to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. Go to londondrumsticks.co.uk and receive a 15% store-wide discount using promo code DEMONSTICKS. All capital letters, no spaces, Demon Sticks. DEMONSTICKS. I can't thank everyone there enough for the opportunity to be a part of their family and for them trusting me with their amazing products. See you metal maniacs on the road very soon. And yes, the wood chips will be flying.
Greetings, boils and ghouls. This is your comrade, the Crypt Keeper here, reporting dead from the sanctuary of the strange. Tonight's macabre myth is a fright-filled feature, one overflowing with monsters, madness, and magic.
Visit our website at monstersmadnessandmagic.com to stay up to date on all the dark dealings within the sanctuary of the strange. Enjoy the show.
Hey Metalheads, I'm Mark and I host the Metal Forge. Let me tell you about the show. The Metal Forge features the best underground metal from all over the world. We spend every week with a different artist with interviews, in-depth conversations, and most of all, the music. We also feature audience interactivity where you can submit your questions to the upcoming guests. New episodes are out every Friday at noon Eastern Time at metalforgeradio.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Want to know what's going on in the world of music? Then tune in to the Nothing Shocking Podcast, a non-genre based, all-ages friendly rock and roll program. Join us weekly for interviews with all your favorite rock stars from the mainstream to the underground. You can find us at nothingshocking.libsyn.com or anywhere you download podcasts.
Okay, metalheads, you've been complaining that there has not been a channel that plays all of the heavy metal videos from past, present, and future for years and years at this point. Well, that time is over. Heavy Metal Television is back. HeavyMetalTelevision.net is the website. Go there. You can see videos playing 24/7, 365, all the time, all the best from the old school, the new school, and everything in between. Check it out, HeavyMetalTelevision.net. It is where the metal is.